Hello, my name is Dr. Darren Hollander. I'm here today with Kelly Sen from Orlando Power Yoga. We're doing a yoga series today that's specific for back pain. This series is for disc herniations. If you think you suffer from disc herniation, then please make sure to check with your chiropractor before attempting any type of exercise program, including yoga.
And the first pose for this is mountain pose. Bring your arms up high to the sky, palms facing in. Bring your arms closer by your ears, lengthen the spine, squeeze into the thighs, and firm up nice and strong. And this is mountain pose.
You'll notice with all of these poses that we're actually bringing the spine into extension. Anytime you bring the spine into extension, you're actually making the disc material go away from the spinal cord, which will usually give relief from disc herniation.
So then the next pose would be tabletop position. So you'll come down on all fours, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And this is just the prelude or the beginning for the next pose. If you're feeling a little tension, stay here, maybe try to get yourself comfortable. Lean your hips back into child's pose to go into our next pose if you're not in any pain. Your knees are wider than your hips, your toes are touching. You're lengthening the spine, making sure the hips are down as low as you can get it, and reaching so far forward. Palms are flat, fingertips wide open.
Even though we're doing an extension series and this is a flexion type pose, you might be okay to do this pose if it doesn't cause you any sharp pain. But if you feel a dullness or soreness in your low back when you're doing this pose, that's okay.
So the next few poses, cobra pose. Slowly come onto your stomach. So we're doing a little bit of the back bending here in the lower spine. Bring your toes and your heels together. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. And so we'll start the spine strengthening series with a little bit of the cobra pose. You'll lift just your chest off from the floor, depending on how your back feels. To go on into one of the strongest poses for this type of disc herniation, we're going to come into upward facing dog. Tuck your toes underneath you or just lift your spine up a little higher. You will be hovering from the floor, so your hips will kind of sway from side to side. The only thing touching the floor are the tops of your feet and the palms. Instead of your shoulders coming up by your ears, press your shoulders down and chin forward, straight ahead, lifting this spine. To modify this pose, you will come over here where Liz is, letting your hips rest to the floor, and just lift your chest up, just like the cobra pose was.
If you're feeling intense pain or your pain is more intense, then this type of posture is probably better for you. Having your legs rested on the floor is just fine, and then you can even bring your pelvis and your hips towards the floor to create more of a stretch in your back.
So from here, you're slowly going to rest your entire body onto the floor, and you're going to go into what is called bow pose. Bend your knees and simply and easily grab your feet, just about an inch or two below the toes. And if you can, bring the thumbs to meet with the index fingers. So trying to keep one strong grip. Extend your chin forward, looking forward, and begin to lift yourself up off the floor. As you lift your legs up, your thighs up, your chest up, your head just slightly up, not too much. And this is bow pose. Slowly lower your body down. The next pose is bridge pose. So slowly walk yourself back into tabletop pose. Lie down flat on your back. Bend both knees, feet hip width apart, palms facing down. Slowly, from using the strength of the sacrum, lift the hips up. Every single vertebrae, if you can, up to the shoulders, keeping the shoulders on the floor. If you find that you're very comfortable in this pose, you can walk your hands in, interlacing your 10 fingers. Squeezing your palms together tighter. Your shoulders, you'll walk them underneath a little bit more. Notice your knees. You want your knees 6 inches apart, no wider than your hips, and your feet no wider than your hips as well. And if you're ready to come out, slowly undo the hands, palms flat. Unroll the spine, one vertebra at a time. Straighten out the legs slowly and gently. Palms facing up. Take a deep breath in, and Shavasana, resting.
Kelly, thank you so much for showing us this series. I think this is an excellent series for you to do if you're suffering from back pain that might be being caused by a disc herniation, which remember is usually back pain that's worse with flexion that might actually be causing a shooting type pain down your leg. Please make sure that you check with your chiropractor to make sure that you're ready for a series like this. You should get adjusted to make sure that your spine is moving so you can actually benefit from these types of exercises.